It wasn't discovered in a war, but it was war that made the world listen. Penicillin, humanity's first true antibiotic, didn't come with fanfare. It came from a forgotten petri dish, a lucky accident, and a desperate race to save lives. In 1928, a Scottish bacteriologist named Alexander Fleming returned to his messy lab after a 2-week vacation. One of his petri dishes had grown a strange mold. Where the mold touched, bacteria had vanished. That mold was Penicillium notatum. Fleming had stumbled onto something extraordinary, a substance that killed bacteria without harming human cells. Fleming published his findings, but the world didn't notice. He couldn't purify it, couldn't store it. Penicillin was unstable, fragile, just another lab curiosity. For a decade, the miracle sat in silence, until soldiers started dying from infected wounds. World War II changed everything. Soldiers weren't dying from bullets, they were dying from bacteria. Governments needed something that could fight infection. Suddenly, Fleming's discovery had urgency. In Oxford, Howard Florey and Ernst Chain picked up Fleming's forgotten research. They extracted, purified, and tested penicillin on mice, then on a dying policeman. It worked, but one dose required thousands of liters of broth. How could it be scaled? In secret wartime labs in Britain and America, scientists, engineers, and even brewers began experimenting. They discovered deep tank fermentation. They fed Penicillium corn-steeped liquor, leftovers from making cornstarch. The mold thrived. The miracle multiplied. By 1943, America was producing millions of doses. In 1944, every Allied soldier storming Normandy carried penicillin. For the first time in history, a battlefield injury wasn't a death sentence. Penicillin became known as the wonder drug. It saved lives without making a sound. Once the war ended, penicillin became available to civilians. Diseases like pneumonia, syphilis, scarlet fever, once fatal, could now be cured with a few injections. Hospitals changed. Mortality plummeted. Surgery became safer. Penicillin opened the door to a new world, the antibiotic age. In 1945, Alexander Fleming won the Nobel Prize, along with Florey and Chain. But he gave the world a chilling warning: misuse it, and bacteria will adapt. He predicted antibiotic resistance, decades before it became real. Even as we celebrate penicillin, we must remember the limits of science and the power of nature to fight back. Penicillin wasn't just a drug, it was a turning point. It proved that microbes could be tamed, that science could save lives not just one by one, but by the millions. And though it began in silence, in a messy lab, it echoed across every hospital, battlefield, and home. The war didn't invent penicillin, but it forced the world to hear it. This was when science spoke.